Hey everybody, this is just a quick video to let you know what's going on and that I'm still not really able to post videos every week, even though I have some in my photos on my iPhone to edit and post. I just don't have the time. So here's what's going on. So I spent several months, certainly many weeks with my parents who are, my mom is 89, my dad is 90, down in their house in Baltimore with them after my parents got COVID. And my dad was in the hospital, not because of COVID, not that because it was bad. He just was feeling really bad and they tested him and he was positive. They found out that he had blood sugar in like the high 300s, like 395. And he knew he was type 2 diabetic. And we've been convincing him to go keto, but he didn't really, I don't know, I'm getting into the weeds, it doesn't matter. Anyway, so that's why he was probably feeling bad, because his blood sugar was really high. So he left the hospital against medical advice, came home, and then of course I got COVID, which wasn't bad for me. So thankful for that, because I could continue to grocery shop for them, pick up their prescription medications, prepare meals for them, etc. My mom had COVID too, not bad. In the meantime, when my dad was in the hospital, my mom had fallen. She had a big lump on the back of her head, and she broke her back hurt, and we found out, I took her to the emergency room and we found out she broke her back. So she had a surgery, which was, it has a name, I forget what it's called, but where you actually, the doctor goes in and he pours this type of cement on the vertebrae to make it solid again instead of broken. And so that surgery went well. She came home, no physical therapy for that surgery. But as a result of having that surgery, she did have a catheter. She brought the catheter home, and then when the catheter was removed, they did an MRI, or was it a CAT scan? A CAT scan of her bladder to see if she could empty her bladder fully, and they found what they thought was a mass. So all of this was happening when my parents were supposed to be moving. We were packing them up, just like the essentials to take, and they were going to move in with my sister, and my sister and brother-in-law were going to come down and take their stuff with them, you know, with my parents, their necessary things and my parents, all in the same trip. Well, once we thought that mom had potentially had cancer, we got her appointments both in Pittsburgh and in Maryland, and the appointments in Maryland were sooner. So they decided to stay and wait for those appointments. Turns out it wasn't anything, it must have been some kind of shadow or something. They say that there's nothing there. So that was a big scare. In the meantime, my dad was also having problems getting up in the middle of the night, having to go to the bathroom very frequently, and so it was unusual for him, the frequency. It was like a lot. He was getting up a lot in the middle of the night, and so of course we think that something's probably not right there, and so he is a veteran and he is going to go to his VA doctor and have that checked out. And they sent him to a specialist, and he has to wait for the specialist. So all of this to say that my parents, who were supposed to move at the end of May, are still in their home. It's now July 4th weekend, and they haven't moved yet. I know my sister is on her way to them this weekend. They're probably there already to help them pack up. I don't think they're moving this weekend, but I haven't been on the Zoom calls that we have as a family recently, because when my brother swapped places with me and stayed with my parents for a week or more, and I came home, I got a message from my landlord that he wanted me to move out. Now, I've been in this apartment for 7 years, probably more, closer to 8, since 2017, when I left my husband, who's now my ex-husband. And it's been my little sanctuary. I actually named it Mila, because it was a sanctuary from the rough time that we had at the end of our marriage, and then through the divorce that it took 2 years was not an easy divorce. And it was just my sanctuary, and I loved it from the first moment I saw it. And it was a miracle that I got it, because it was rented when I saw it, or shortly thereafter. And then that person was not able to take on the responsibility of the apartment, or whatever happened. And the realtor called me and said, "It's yours." So that was a miracle. And we've loved it ever since. It feels like home. So it was very depressing to me to have to leave. I only need to be here for another 2 years while my son finishes college. And then, as you all know, I'm going to be moving into a van. And so I didn't want to have to move all the furniture and all the stuff, because what I wanted to do was just give my stuff away and move into the van and let my son take whatever he wanted into his new apartment. But it didn't work out that way. So after several weeks of looking for apartments and having them rented out from under me, I would apply, I would pay the $75 per person to apply, and then they would have a different candidate that came in that applied sooner, and that apartment would go. So that happened several times to me. I finally found an apartment complex just down the road. I was looking closer to my son's university, but they were a lot more expensive, and I realized my social circle is here. And it would take me 45 minutes to drive to my social circle every Friday, Saturday, whatever. And after work on Friday, it would just be too much. So my son agreed that we could still stay in this little town of Oxford. And we found a nice apartment, much smaller than this one. I've been getting rid of junk like crazy. I've been packing up the things that we do want to keep. We've been moving furniture bit by bit because we didn't rent a moving van. We are just throwing stuff in our cars and driving it over, which is working fine. And it's been, it's been a slog. Thank goodness I am eating really healthy right now, and my energy is up and I feel really good. That's a blessing. What else? Yeah, we're not done. I'll show you what it looks like. So this is my bedroom, and AC is running because it's stinking hot these days, but this is what's left of my bed. And my lamp on the floor, my laptop for work, and that's about it in my room. I do have my yoga mat, and I have jury duty on Monday, so I have to call them. Taken apart my dresser. I've got just a little hamper here of stuff to go with me when I go. The closet's empty. It's 78 in here, and the AC is running this whole time. It's amazing. This is my bed frame, ready to go. We've emptied out the bathroom. There's a linen closet over here that's emptied out, and so everything is just out, so I can see how much we have left to bring. These are like essential bathroom things that we'll bring with us on the last day. Our little rack here. And then down the hallway, this is my son's room. It's dark, I'm not gonna show you. He doesn't have much in there. He likes a cave, so he's just got his bed on the floor too. That's to our basement. I love this little apartment. So this is our big kitchen / dining room / gaming room. So my son and I are into strategy board games, so Catan is out right now. But a lot of the stuff you see out here is for yard sale, but you can see we've got a really large kitchen, lots of cabinets and everything. And we packed up some boxes here. At the same time, my son was moving from Boston. So yesterday, which is one of the hottest days of the year, it was probably 91, between 91 and 95, my youngest son and I met him. We packed, so my son from Boston, who's just graduated law school, brought a bunch of his stuff. Every time he would visit, he would bring a whole bunch of his stuff from his apartment, and it just lived in my living room. And then yesterday, my youngest son and I packed up as much of the stuff as we could in both of our cars, and we drove to my son's new apartment in York, Pennsylvania. So he's only an hour away now. And so this is his shelf that he doesn't want anymore. So we'll yard sale that. And then all of his stuff was in this living room, just full. But he's only got his weight bench left. That's the bed that my youngest son's gonna take. Shelves I'm gonna take, my lamp, a couple of odds and end tables. I'm gonna give away this mattress. This is gonna be hopefully something I'm gonna be using in my van. And then all of that stuff is yard sale stuff. All of this stuff up here. Now I will keep the table, that's my art table. Everything else is going in the yard sale, except for the scrapbooks. These are my scrapbooks, right here. The guitar is going, the cabinet's going. So if anyone's local, let me know if you're near Oxford, Pennsylvania and you want a guitar or a big cabinet, you're welcome to it. So that's what's been going on with me and my life and why I haven't been editing videos and posting them. I still have some videos from San Francisco, some really fantastic footage from San Francisco that I'd like to edit and post eventually. It's going to be way behind the times. I also then have, after I came back from San Francisco, it was still chilly here. It was October. We were getting into the chilly season. I did some hikes in some beautiful places, beautiful county parks. So I have that video footage to edit and post eventually. So it's going to be all out of season and very old, but sorry, I'm not taking videos right now, and I'm not posting videos right now or editing. So it is what it is. Life sometimes gets in the way of us living, and we just have to accept it. If we don't accept it with just grace and equanimity, then, and we fight against it, it makes us miserable. But if we have the presence, the consciousness to just say, this is what life threw at me. My parents are getting older and are sick, and we have some cancer scares, and they need to move because they need to be with a family member. You know, that is what it is. And then if the landlord asks you to move and you've got to find an apartment while you're working full-time, while you're taking care of your parents, while you're, you know, while life is happening and the market is really hard for rentals, you just do what you got to do and accept it, and pick the best thing for you, the best place for you to settle down in, and then move and settle in and go to jury duty and try to remember to call them the night before. That's going to be the hard part for me. So I'm doing well. I hope you all are doing well as well. And I hope to see you in my next video, which is to show you my new apartment and to tell you that I'll start posting videos again. But in the meantime, take care, be safe out there, and love yourself and love others. Bye.